Greetings everyone, my name is Zetterville, and welcome back to my Let's Play of Mega Man Maker. During the last part, I covered several viewer-submitted levels, so in this part I'll be covering at least 4 or 5 more viewer-submitted levels, starting out with this one. Reflex Complex by Marinekriegs, with 22 plays and a score of 1. As always, if you want one of her levels to be featured in a future part like this one, please leave both the level name and level ID either in the comments section below or direct message me on Twitter. Also, as always, the full disclaimer of this entire LP series is linked in the description below. Also in the description are the timestamps for all the levels that I cover in these parts, so if you want to check out for levels covered, expand the description. Based off the title, I presume this stage will test me on my reflexes. So far the reflex challenges aren't too bad. But they are gradually getting harder. Especially with the introduction of these flying shells here. Good checkpoint placement, especially considering there was bottomless pits just before this segment. And now we're being introduced to elect beams here. As well as spines. And now we're combining usage of the elect beam and the spines. I was suspicious of this block over here, and my suspicions rewarded me. And I died over here because I was a bit too impatient. Well, at least I now know there is a time slow capsule there. And proper and quick reactions is the name of the game of this stage. There we go. We also gain access to a free E-tank over here. Should have slid faster over there, but thankfully there was a checkpoint right over here. Good placement. Oh, this is where the two pathways link up with each other. I should have slid directly to the right over here. At least these are just yellow force beams instead of the red ones. So even if our reactions are too slow, our punishment is just taking 7 points of damage, not instant death. Plus, if the going gets too tough, I always have access to time slow. And now we have the introduction of these Yambos, as well as the Fan Fiends. Another good checkpoint placement over here. This stage basically has a whole series of different gimmicks focused on reactions. And I wouldn't call these checkpoints overly generous because the overall difficulty of this stage is a bit higher than usual. Thank you, spike hitboxes. I probably should have just done a slide jump over there. I meant to do a tap jump over there, but I held down the button for too long. This is gonna be one of these challenges, I see. Didn't clear the jump far enough. This is gonna be that one jump of the stage. If I took the upper route, I'd be able to skip this segment. But because I didn't want to take the risk, I have to go through this longer route. With the time slow, it isn't that bad, but without it, it can become quite a challenge. The ladder to the right probably leads to some goodies, maybe even a capsule for the charge kick, so I want to go for that one. And I was right to be suspicious here, it actually led to an E-tank as well as a charge kick. Another good checkpoint placement. This stage has suddenly encountered a difficulty spike. What with all the Sparkman platforms and trying to jump in between those spikes, at least for me, it resulted in at least half a dozen deaths. Let me take another look over here. I guess that's an alternate route, which I could have reached if I took the upper pathway in the lower branch that I missed. And now a spike drop segment. And now we have big eyes everywhere. Having charge kick made that previous segment and this segment a lot easier. Oh, these challenges. Better safe than sorry. All of these are doable buster only, but these are much harder to accomplish. And I never went through that upper gauntlet. I suppose it led to a Galaxy Man teleporter which would lead me here, or to an alternate energy element. Overall, an above average stage, and above average in terms of difficulty as well. Nice difficulty progression and nice challenge progression. Although we didn't recombine all the gimmicks at the end, every section had its own set of gimmicks. At most, the number of gimmicks being mixed together was 2 or 3. Still, I liked it. All of these gimmicks tested your reflexes, hence the name. Although some of them were more difficult than others, but at least the final one, those being the Sparkman platforms as well as the spinning tops, were the hardest parts of the stage. Although there was kind of a difficulty spike once we got to the introduction of those Sparkman platforms, having to jump in between those 2 spikes. Second level on the lineup is ChillMan by Hydrochlorination, with 15 plays and a score of 3. As a previous stage, I played by Hydrochlorination, which had a Roadmaster name, that being Solarman was actually a recreation of a Roadmaster from Mega Man 10. I did an NSF file replacement over here. So basically, this is a recreation of ChillMan stage from Mega Man 10 with the given dev kit assets. So the ChillMan blocks, one of the gimmicks from ChillMan's original stage, they've been replaced with these buster blocks. At least we have the count bombs, which were the other main gimmick of this stage. But otherwise, the general layout of the stage has been retained. Or the majority of the layout, actually. Unfortunately, Bass cannot double jump here, mainly because in Mega Man 10 he couldn't double jump either. And I believe this is a normal mode recreation of ChillMan's level. Over here we'd be facing variants of the Pippies, but they aren't part of the engine yet, so instead we have Killer Bullets. And that's the end of the stage. Overall, a pretty faithful recreation of ChillMan's stage using the given assets in this engine. Most of the layout stays the same, with just some minor differences in order to account for the lack of stuff in this engine. Lack of enemies and the lack of chill blocks. Oh yeah, I forgot I have this whole series of special weapons. Whoops. Well, it makes sense that Iceman's weakness is the fair shot here. In the original game, ChillMan's weakness was the Solar Blaze. I'll give it a thumbs up mainly because it's a faithful recreation. Third level on the lineup is Protoman in Cyberspace by Buster, with 23 plays and a score of 6. Hopefully this is not as difficult or skill-oriented as Shrine of Strong Winds was. That had over 24 deaths off screen. More like 5 dozen actually. And as the title suggests, we play as Protoman. He does not take double damage here, but he does have infinite charge shots. We're immediately introduced to the ring platforms here, as well as the coil platforms. I guess they add to the Cyberspace feel, combined with all the electric backgrounds and whatever else. And now we're also being introduced to the magnet gimmick, as well as a secret to the left. One of these jumps, as well as one of these jumps. That went a lot better than what I expected to be. We're quickly combining usage of these magnets as well as the coil platforms. Good checkpoint placement. This stage doesn't seem that bad so far. It feels much more like a traditional level. Not sure how I survived that one. There may be a secret to the left, but I won't risk it. I wanted to use that bouncing head enemy as a damage booster, but I wasn't able to. Same here. And by keeping that key, I gain access to this right route, which grants me access to this free tank. And now we have the introduction of these elect blocks. I'm gonna wait for that ring platform to respawn. I believe this is doable in one go, but I'd rather not risk it. I was wondering where it went. Yeah, this is doable in one go. But if you want to play it safe, there are several breakpoints. Didn't react fast enough over there. Still, I'm liking the stage a lot more than Shrine of Strong Winds. This is a lot less challenging in comparison to that stage was, for sure. So that's how you're supposed to do it. My bad. At least there's a checkpoint right after that segment. Oh, and I guess that's the end of the level. Or maybe it's the 2/3 point. I didn't mention this earlier, but I really like the aesthetics. Well, I did mention it, but I like to clarify. I really like the foreground and background combination, how it adds to a cyberspace feel. Though the background here makes it feel the least like a cyberspace, unless it's supposed to make it feel like a motherboard or something, or a circuit board. Thankfully, the Buster deals 3 points of damage, specifically the Charge Buster, and Protoman can fire an infinite volley of those charge shots. Overall, a pretty good stage. I'd give this a 7.5 or even an 8 out of 10. I'll give it a 7.5 out of 10 for now, but I'll have to replay through it a few more times before I can finalize my score. Fourth level on the lineup is SCWN-016 Thief Woman by Jedox74. with 5 plays and a score of 0. Let's hope that this stage is better than their previous one, that being Cameos Man. That was a strange stage to go through. And we started with a whole arsenal of special weapons, as well as the option of playing through the stage as Mega Man, Protoman, or Bass. I'll be going through the stage as Mega Man. The gyro platforms were not placed in safe environments first. It's assumed that you already understand how they work. Same with the Yoko blocks. If you didn't pay attention over there, you'd most likely fall into the pit, unless you slide jump off and basically do E-jumps to reach the upper Yoko blocks. At least the walking bombs as well as the hammer joes were introduced correctly. Apparently that route is blocked off. Same over here. Nope, I can't destroy the walls over there. So I guess I'll take this left route. The invisible ceiling killed me over there. And we're sent all the way back over here. You know what, let's play through the rest of the stage as Bass. I have a whole arsenal of special weapons to make up for Bass's weak Bass Buster. Well, okay then, I'll gladly take this. And I need to do a backtrack quickly to get that other key. It probably leads to some extra E&M tanks or some shortcuts. Had I known there was an invisible ceiling up there, I most likely would not have died. And there's the first checkpoint of the stage. Placed at a good location, I'd say. 11 to 12 screens after the beginning of the stage. In fact, let me use it right now to get a quick refill. One of these challenges I see. I don't have access to the skull barrier, so I just need to race forwards. Or just use a treble boost if you're playing as bass. Let me do that right now. And here's the mini boss room. Easy peasy. Now we're in the second half of this level. And we're out in the open. I wonder though, was the first half of the stage a bank or something? After all, this stage is called Thief Woman. For these types of segments, the treble boost is superior to the Rush Jet and Proto Jet. Overall, I'm liking this stage a lot more than Cameo's Man. At least this one has somewhat of a focus, and a more cohesive tile set. And here's the third key. I'm not sure what I'll be using it for. I totally forgot that the brick drop can just 4-shot those power musclers. And honestly, playing through the stage at space makes it a lot funner, and a lot faster too. What would happen if you didn't have access to all 3 keys? Because they were placed in harder to reach areas, or rather, they were placed in areas off the beaten path. Would you be forced to jump down that pit to the left? Hopefully that pit to the left leads to somewhere, because if it just leads to that pit, you're forced to go through the stage again because the first key is just before the first checkpoint, so, hopefully not. Otherwise I'd say it's bad game design to put forced key usage at the end of the stage when in reality the keys are optional in the first place. So that was the end of Thief Woman. My previous question still stands. If it is possible to miss the keys and be soft-locked, that's a major blow to the stage's score. If not, then not so much. So because of that, I won't give the stage a thumbs up or thumbs down just yet until that question is answered, either by a viewer or by Jethawk themselves. But overall, I like the stage a lot more than Cameo's Man. This one had a more cohesive aesthetic and better introduction of gimmicks. Though I wonder, what is the background of the stage? Did the first part of the stage, the first half, take place in a bank or vault being robbed, and the second half was the getaway out into the wild? Due to the length of these stages, I think I'll end up the part right now. So overall, out of the 4 levels I played in this part, my favorite level would definitely be Protoman in Cyberspace by Buster. So in the next part, I'll be covering several more viewer-submitted levels. Well then, thanks for watching and have a nice day. Toodles!